The NBA season is getting close to their annual Christmas games, and that means a good chunk of the season has already been played. Now, what we can tell you so far is that this season hasn't gone as expected in a variety of ways, with certain teams not playing above their caliber and others shooting to the stratosphere with their win records. Among the teams doing well are the Hornets, who are led by Lamelo Ball and seem to be in the mix within the Eastern Conference. But what's it like to be Lamelo Ball in general? Allow us to show you Lamelo Ball's lifestyle and net worth. Number 5. Net worth. So, given that Lamelo Ball plays in a pro league, you'd expect him to have some money. However, his money is with his first contract in the NBA as a whole, and thus there's a cap on what he makes just from playing ball. Because he was a number 3 pick in the NBA draft, he got a very lucrative NBA contract, one that measured up to about $35 million over 4 years. So when you divide that by 4, you get a little bit less than $9 million a year. But naturally, he doesn't just get the contract money. He also gets endorsement money, and especially with his play so far in the NBA, there are many who are wanting him for their brands. As such, his current value in terms of net worth is that of more than $10 million. That's a lot of money, and LaMelo knows it. In fact, he was criticized before the NBA draft because of a jewelry purchase he made, and some wondered if he was going and spending his NBA money already, but he said he wasn't going to spend it at all, stating that he is smarter than that. So we'll just have to see if that's actually the case, as he's a part of a family that boasts their own brand and aren't afraid to flex their wealth. But regardless of what he's earning, his lifestyle in many ways has always been about basketball, and that definitely tracks when you see how he got to where he is right now. Number 4. Path to the NBA. There's a lot of ways to get into the NBA if you know what you're doing, and most would agree that the Ball family knows all of those aforementioned paths. While brother Lonzo Ball went and carved it up in college via UCLA, LaMelo had a very different path. Mainly, he went and played in international leagues like the NBL, and he did very well there. In fact, when his team went to Australia to play a game, they apparently sold out the stadium. This play also serves as benefit for the Charlotte Hornets because, as you all likely know, while college is a great assessor of skills and talent, there's also a very steep jump from that to the NBA, as many draft buffs will tell you. However, with LaMelo playing in international leagues that arguably have some better talent than the college teams LaMelo would have been playing, he got to be closer to what he would do in the realm of the NBA. Now, obviously that might not be enough in the long term, but right now he's pretty much killing it, even getting praise from people all over the NBA. More on that one later. And what's more, you could argue that this helps his mindset in regards to doing what it takes to win, refining his core style, and of course helping elevate his team to victory, which many people, now especially in Charlotte, are counting on. And while atypical, it's clear that this path to the NBA can lead to success, as long as you don't let certain things and entities weigh you down. Number 3. The Ball family. Arguably, the most important thing about LaMelo Ball and what he is bringing to the NBA is that unlike his brother in Lonzo Ball, who is currently with the Chicago Bulls, he didn't come into the NBA with a lot of hype. In fact, he had almost anti-hype, because while he was considered to be a high draft pick, and he would get selected number 3 overall, many were doubtful that he would do much better than his brother. After all, Lonzo was a very highly touted player after making a big splash in college, but he only stayed there 1 year, and as many have noticed, that may have hurt him because his start in the NBA was anything but laudable. He's doing well enough now, but it was a much harder road than what LaMelo is doing. It also didn't help that his infamous father was doing everything he can before Lonzo got drafted to make him feel like the biggest thing around, even going so far as when he got drafted to say that he was going to be one of the greatest Lakers ever. Except he wasn't, not even close. He was traded by the Lakers not long into his run with them, and then he got acquired by the Bulls. So that's 3 teams and not a lot of time in the NBA. For LaMelo, his father wasn't as much of an influence on him in terms of hype and building him up, and that made him very level-headed in certain ways as he was prepping for the NBA draft. He noted that while it's true that people didn't believe in him and his skills, he knew his own talent and proved it overseas. So he was more than ready to go and bust up the league to prove he was ready for them. And just about everyone can agree that he was able to do just that. Number 2. Praise. LaMelo Ball has seized the attention of the NBA with his highlight reel passes and a surprising ability to score the basketball. One of those people captivated by him includes Charlotte Hornets owner Michael Jordan. The six-time NBA champion said when the Hornets selected Ball with the number 3 overall pick, they hoped the crafty 6'6" point guard would eventually rise to the level of becoming an all-star. And Jordan likes the way Ball is trending. I think Melo has adjusted to the NBA game better than any of us ever thought this early in his career, Jordan told the Associated Press in an email during Ball's rookie year. He has exceeded our expectations so far this season. So that shows that while still young in the NBA, he's making waves, and Michael Jordan isn't the only one to say LaMelo is something special on the court. He's the real deal, Jazz guard Donovan Mitchell said. Warriors forward Draymond Green recently tweeted, LaMelo is a problem. Right now, with the way things look, he looks like NBA Rookie of the Year to me, former Mavericks coach Rick Carlisle said. He's getting it done statistically, their team is winning, he's got energy, he's got a vibe, he's got swagger. If you like watching players that play with flair, he's right up there. Said Hornets coach James Borrego, his growth, his fearlessness, his ability to bounce back even when things don't go his way on one end of the floor, he's a special kid. And that praise was from last season when he was still nursing his injury. This year, he's back at full power and making waves once again. Number 1, bouncing back. As many felt would be the case, this year is aiming to be the bounce-back year for LaMelo Ball after his injuries at the end of last season. But what many didn't expect was that his play would be so good that it would make a lot of heads turn. Even his own coach can't help but sing his praises. He's grown all year, coach said of Ball. He's a fantastic player. We are lucky to have him. Fortunate to have him. Against one of the elite teams, the NBA champions, on the road. His fearlessness is fantastic. He's a great player, he's only getting better. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The kid's got a bright, bright future. That game he referenced was against the reigning champs where Ball had a standout game with a near triple-double and tied the game up with seconds to go. And what's more, some people are thinking that if he can keep up this pace, he'll be in the MVP race. He likely won't get it, but in this league, just being close to getting MVP is an honor. And his coach also noted that Ball is still young, so imagine what he'll be like in 5 years. It's a good question, coach. A very good question. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at LaMelo Ball and how he's trying to make his big push in the NBA this year? Do you think that he has the talent to help lead the Charlotte Hornets to the playoffs for the first time in a while? What do you think is happening to the NBA as a whole right now? And who will come out on top in the end? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.